It's New Year's Eve in Fairmont Crest, and usually there's excitement and joy in ushering out the old and welcoming the new. But with Anita and Vernon revealing her diagnosis to Dani and Nicole, it's feeling a little bit more somber. What's good, y'all? Sugar Sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Beyond the Gates video. And in this one, I'm breaking down season 1, episode number 199. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Beyond the Gates content and conversations. And this was a very interesting episode. I think that we're ending season 1 on such a interesting note. I've already noted that the soap has found its footing. I feel like the last 50 episodes have just done a really solid job of working with the characters that they have given us, really fleshing out the world that they have given us, and building upon the storylines that we were introduced to by way of each of these characters. Now each episode feels like there's just so many things working, there's so many things clicking. So like on a lighthearted, more surface level, this is the New Year's episode, so we get Naomi and Jacob with Ashley and Derek celebrating over at Uptown, and Madison and Chelsea are there as well, also Kat and Tomas, and these are all like very lighthearted moments with these characters because none of them actually know the heavy hitting information that's going to hit them in this new year when it comes to Anita and her diagnosis. But we get the lighthearted nature of this, so it's Madison indulging and getting a little tipsy, and we haven't seen Madison like this before, but we're getting to see a new element to her relationship with Chelsea, and Chelsea is a part of the Kenny Lattimore surprise, and this is the artist, one of the top artists that Madison has been listening to. So again, it's like that lighthearted fun. Kat and Tomas seem like they're working. It seems like they have good chemistry. Kat looks very happy. She seems very grateful. You know, you tend to be in a really grateful space around the new year. You're thinking about all of the wins of the last year, and you're also thinking about all of the things that you're excited for moving forward. I still don't see it for Tomas. I still hate him as a boyfriend, but Kat looks so great. Again, more surface level, just like additional storytelling with these characters, but nothing too crazy. And then even with Derek and Ashley, it's not as awkward as it could have been. It's definitely not as awkward as we have watched their run-ins be in most recent episodes. And then Naomi and Jacob are playing buffer there. We're not seeing any tension with Naomi and Jacob. Like, they seem to be perfectly fine, happy with one another, happy with where they are. Naomi ain't throwing no damn tantrum about no blue monkey. Jacob is not having to hide the gift and take all whatever she's giving. All of that is just so lighthearted and fun, right? And then over at the country club, we give Vanessa and Joey, and he, by the end of the episode, is professing his love for this woman. And I'm like, Joey, the worst thing that you could possibly do is fall in love with this trollop, and yet here your ass is, and this is the beginning of your damn demise. So I feel like this would be like the next layer down, right? The little mid layer. It's not a surface level storyline because it's a major development for Joey to admit or to profess to her that he was blindsided by her. He said that he was never going to give himself to anybody ever again after his last marriage. And then she came out of nowhere, and now he's in love and he can't even do nothing about it. And this just takes the cake because Vanessa has been beating this man's back and about claiming her, about what is she to him, and all of this. And now that he's professing this unprovoked, it just takes the cake for what she has wanted this whole time, all after she's like, well, I've been pushing and I've been doing this and you have been accommodating me and I didn't even have to do all of that. So this is like the mid-tier storytelling around two characters. I don't dislike Vanessa and Joey. I think that Vanessa is a trollop that I don't respect, and I don't want her to have best friendship with the two hottest girls, older girls in Fairmont Crest. But Vanessa is an interesting character. She's not my type of white woman, but you know, she's an interesting character. And I would love for us to get with Joey, him to raise the stakes, because he's supposed to be one of the big bads, right? He's supposed to be the criminal boss running around, everybody's scared of, that everybody don't want to associate with. Nicole and Dani are just warning Vanessa about that proximity, but the man don't do much nothing. We have not seen him actually bust a grape in a fruit fight. We ain't seen him get his hands dirty. And not that he has to be constantly getting his hands dirty, it just feels like his operation is a little bit too pedestrian for me. So I'm not really getting the dangerous vibes. I'm just getting the, you know, questionable white man vibes. And that's not really that scary. Like, to me, Vanessa's a little bit more dangerous with her mediocre white womanness and her victimhood, running around, crying and whatnot, she's more dangerous to me than Joey is. So we're going to need to see that step up in season 2. But right now, we're going to have to deal with him falling in love with Vanessa's ass. Now, some of y'all midway through this season was saying, oh, Vanessa's going to get back. She's going to avenge Doug. But child, the storyline that we have gotten with her in the last like 30 episodes or so is her like, oh, I'm breaking free. Oh, I've been so restricted. I wasn't happy in my marriage. So I think that ship has sailed. She ain't avenging a damn thing. I think that Joey is right where she wants him to be. And I think that just like he is in love with her, she's in love with him. And if not in love with him, she's in love with the idea of the life that he can give her. And again, that makes Vanessa very dangerous. Moving on. Nicole was actually at the country club to celebrate. However, she left when Vernon called, because Vernon reaches out to both Dani and Nicole, and they're the first family members to know, which I thought was so brilliant. It's such a strategic thing to do. And I love how they're controlling the information. And while, you know, Vernon and Anita don't want to dampen the New Year's for their family members, specifically for their girls, with her going in to get the port put in tomorrow, it's like nobody wants to wake up the next morning like, oh, your mama's in surgery, she gonna get you back. No. So they tell Dani and Nicole, they have them come over to the manor, and it's so emotional. And this is like the deep storytelling, the nuance. And this is going to my overall point of like how great they're navigating the storytelling and how they're giving us so many levels and so many a variety within the storytelling of like light, mid, and super deep, so that there's honestly something for everybody. But then also it creates a really interesting flow for the episodes. Like the first 100 episodes, I think that they were still finding their footing and things like that. So with some episodes that would feel so slow, and some episodes would feel so fast and disjointed, and the pacing was off, and some things just would be weird. Now I feel like there's literally something to watch the whole 36 minutes, and whether you are in love with the character or not, the way that they're weaving the story together is in an interesting way, and it makes for it to be such an enjoyable watch, even while your heart is being ripped out. And honestly, my heart is being ripped out watching Vernon talk to, you know, Andre about leaning on him and him supporting Dani, and Dani is strong, but she's going to need this, and he's glad that he's here because he's going to be a great pillar for her to be able to lean on, which I think Andre is definitely going to be up for the task. But then also Anita talking to Dani and Nicole about her diagnosis and them trying to be strong for their mother, but then hit like a ton of bricks. And it's just like, this Anita cancer storyline is going to have me crying 3 to 4 days out the damn week, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but every single time I just get to tearing up, because it's like, no. But Anita's going to beat this. She is going to go under this treatment. The treatment is going to work. She's going to beat cancer, because it's F cancer all day, all night. One thing we do find out in this episode that I don't think that they mentioned before is that she did do genetic testing. So now we're also looping the girls into this in reference to like she has a genetic marker that showed that this could, you know, elevate Nicole and Dani's susceptibility to this similar breast cancer. So they need to go ahead and get tested to see if they have this marker as well, which even expands the storyline and makes it even more concerning, raising the stakes just a little bit, child. It's intense. It's intense. And then I think going back to like the mid tier of the storytelling, we would go over to Orphe Jeans, and we get Ted and Shanice celebrating together over at Orphe Jeans, and they take the next step within their relationship, because by the end, at the countdown, we get to see Ted initiating a kiss with Shanice, and Shanice don't stop him. And Shanice has some wise words for him about moving forward, and he can't move forward in his life as if he's walking into a firing squad. He needs to be hopeful. He made some mistakes. And I love that she asked him to say, like, what are your greatest fears? Because you haven't revealed any of that to me. And he's like, well, I already faced it. One of my worst things has been revealed in front of everybody. I'm like, that can't be your worst fear, because you wouldn't have did the things that you did if that was the case. Shanice avoids birds as much as she can, because she's definitely afraid of birds. Like, you were not really afraid of embarrassment. You were not really afraid of losing your marriage, because you not only had the damn affair, it wasn't a one-time thing. Then you paid the lady to leave, and then consistently kept paying her to disappear. Like, so Ted, please come up with something else. But you know, this is Shanice and her starting her relationship, so if anybody's going to get the real out of Ted, it will be Shanice. It's just going to take a damn while. I don't feel sorry for his ass, even while he's talking about, when she said, oh, it seems like you're walking into a firing squad, not your future. I said, well, I think that there's something to be said about moving forward with accountability and shame, because I am of the group that believe that we need to bring back shame. Ted should be ashamed of his past behaviors, of how he is now, of how his mind works, of how self-centered his ass is. He has plenty of damn things to be ashamed of. And as you're navigating shame, or the process of accepting shame or feeling shame and all of that, you also have to figure out how you do start to move forward. And I think that I want shame to be involved for people, not so that they could be stuck in the position that they're in, but so that it can inform them moving forward. And if they really don't want to feel this feeling again, then what are you going to do different? So I am watching with my eagle eye as we watch the beginning of this damn Shanice and Ted relationship, and how he sets the foundation of the man that he's going to be to Shanice. Because it's clear that your ass was lying, holding up a mask throughout your whole marriage with Nicole. And I don't give a damn what y'all saying in the comment section. In 2026, I'm not arguing with y'all asses about Ted being trifling. He just is. And if you don't see it, that's cool, bookie butt. But I am not going to defend that stance, because that's just a fact for me. Argue with your mama, slide down the wall, take it up with Jesus, baby. Because that's not one of the things I'm going to go back and forth with y'all about. Okay? In 2026, I ain't going back and forth about a bunch of and Ted Richardson being trifling is definitely not one of them. I need to see the makings of how he's going to shift as a person, how he's going to move with more humility. How is he going to be more considerate? Where is his adjustment and his auditing of his goddamn ego? If Ted is not walking into this relationship with Shanice as a man who is seeking to serve an incredible woman, then he can keep his ass away from her, because she deserves a man who is willing and desiring serving. You hear? And I'm also not going to argue about why amazing women deserve to be served. So again, argue with your mama, slide down the wall, do something other than getting on my goddamn nerves about it. 2026 here. The lead up to that, though, at the top of the episode, we get to see him confronting Leslie, who is like not comfortable with them in the hospital working. They're having platonic conversation working. Both of them on their damn iPads. They are working, and she do not like how comfortable Ted seems. She don't like how Ted is like cozying up to Shanice, or Shanice is cozying up to him, and she just got to like insert herself. So she's like, oh, I need a board member for this, and I need somebody to recruit this. So she wants Ted to be involved. The best thing that he could possibly do is say no. You being so overly welcome and or pursuing a friendship with Leslie is already telling me that you still a trifling Negro. And you decided to say no to her, and this offer is wonderful. She says, okay, well, just go ahead and think about it. He's like, all right, I'll think about it. Your ass needs to turn around and tell her no. You need clear lines of delineation between your life and Leslie's life. Allowing this woman to leech into your damn life and move like a parasite, staying close to you, will continue to bring you doom and despair, and you will never be able to cultivate any type of real relationships, because she is a parasite that is seeking to destroy you if she can't have you herself. Get it through your thick ass skull, Ted. Get it through your thick ass skull. Yeah? But that is the like precursor to them ending up at Orphy Jeans, because they both didn't have plans. He didn't want to go to the country club again. And I just love the validation I get, y'all, because I know I told y'all a few episode breakdowns ago, and I was like, Ted, when are you gonna cultivate the life for yourself? You doing all of the things that you used to do with the Duprees, but you ain't in Dupree no more. So when he said, yeah, I used to go to the country club and I already did Winterfest, so I now need to do something by myself, I said, exactly. Get to figuring out what your life looks like now for you, the way you want, because you don't get to be the Ted that you used to be. Walk into being a new Ted Bookie. And that looks like him showing up at Orphy Jeans. And I think he did that because he knew that Shanice was going to be there. She winds up leaving when Leslie pulls him aside, because she ain't got no time for the bullshit, especially on New Year's Eve. And I love that for her. Shanice, I just want, as we move into this season of her entertaining Ted, accepting Ted's advances, and showing her interest and attraction to Ted, that she also stands firm and does not just cower to the man that Ted is, because he needs a woman that is going to force him to step up or step off. Nothing less. And then Nicole accidentally stood up Carlton because Vernon called. And we have a moment where Carlton is talking to Vanessa about that, but she runs off when she gets back to Danny's house to call Carlton, and we don't actually get to see the call. Hope she made it. Hopefully they're good. We just get to see her break down, and that's pretty much it. That's everything that went down in the New Year's episode. I cannot believe this is the end of season 1. It's been a great season thus far. A roller coaster. I was almost out. I almost quit watching and covering the show in episode 100. Like, if y'all were not here, if you're new to my channel and you were not here when I was covering from the very beginning, at least go back and watch my episodes 100 to like 105 breakdowns. I was so through. I was so ready to jump ship. It is insane. So for me to be obsessed, it's just wild to me, but I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to walk into season 2, and I'm excited to continue to talk about the show with y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the comments that you leave. Thank you for the likes on the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Happy New Year. I hope that this year is everything that you could ever wish, dream, and want it to be. +10. See you in the next one.